From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're beginning to see some of those changes make their way here. We're beginning to see some of the clouds moving in advance of the system. Although temperatures may be a bit warmer today, temperatures will start to drop. We'll also be looking at wetter conditions in the forecast, with this unsettled pattern most likely sticking around through most, if not all, of next week. So you can see some of the clouds moving in this morning. We may see a little bit of clearing this afternoon, but overall, this active pattern is going to be impacting your weather in some shape or form for quite some time, actually. So let's start with today. Of course, we're dry, right? We do have a few clouds coming in there, but that's about it. By tomorrow morning, we begin to see some of that rain begin to move in. Now, this is your typical. You see this angle right here tends to favor the coast and Siskiyou County for tomorrow morning. As we go into tomorrow around noon, now it's pushing eastward into Modoc County. And it's not out of the question for the southern fringe of that to maybe see a little bit of activity in parts of the north end of the valley. Otherwise, the eastern mountains for the most part are dry, and not to mention the southern end of the valley. I mean, even as we go into 6 p.m. tomorrow, we're still seeing most of the activity to the north. So still fairly dry for places like Corning, southward into Chico. But I think Red Bluff, Reading could see some afternoon showers. But you'll notice too, most of the eastern mountains are dry with the exception of places like Bernie, and then to the north and east into El Turris, but dry to the south of that. However, this will all just shift southward as we go into Thursday night at 10 p.m. But it's also weakening by the time it does shift southward, so we just won't see a lot of rainfall for places like Red Bluff, Corning, or Chico. Then we take you into Friday morning at 8 a.m., a few lingering showers, but by Friday afternoon, Friday evening, we see the next push of moisture moving on in, heavier rainfall on the coast. As far as the amount of rainfall we can expect, at least for the next couple of days, as we would expect, most of it's going to be on the coast. We see less as you start heading to the south and east, in particular for the valley, and not to mention the eastern mountains. Again, don't take those numbers to be exact, but it kind of gives you a general idea. So what we've got here, the overall setup is an area of low pressure over the Gulf of Alaska. The spin of around that area of low pressure is basically grabbing onto these storm systems, these disturbances, which are following the storm track. So we've got one disturbance after another that's aimed right at Northern California, and that's going to keep the chances for off and on rain really for the next 7 to even quite possibly 10 days. You can see a disturbance here, and there'll be more activity coming in behind that. So let's take a look at the weekend going through next week. You see how we have one system after another. Here's another one coming on in towards Tuesday. Now Wednesday of next week, maybe a bit of a break, but then maybe some more activities you can see coming in behind that, coming in toward the end of next week. So you get the idea. We continue to see the chance for off and on rain here as we take you through the extended outlook. Wave heights today, not much of an issue, but as the approaching storm system moves in, we see those wave heights begin to increase. So that may create some problems if you do need to be out on a boat. So for today, a little bit warmer than it has been, but we do have more clouds out there, upper 70s for many of us in the valley. Some of us could touch 80. But I've got 60s in the eastern mountains, Siskiyou County, but 70s for Trinity County in the inland areas, and mid-60s on average for the coast. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook, and you can see the rain will pretty much kick in for Siskiyou and Modoc County tomorrow afternoon, off and on chances for rain pretty much going into early next week. I'm holding off on that rain for Susanville for your Wednesday, as we go, into your Thursday. But it looks like by Thursday night into Friday, we're seeing the chance for showers, and we'll keep that chance for showers off and on into early next week. Here's your 7-day outlook for the valley, and of course, we've got those showers for Reading, maybe Red Bluff tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. Chico seeing that rain off and on into early next week. And your 7-day outlook for the coast, we're looking at that rain kind of kicking on in as well. Heavier rainfall for the coast, obviously. Chances for rain, or at least the amount of rainfall, will be less as you start to head to the east.